Scorpio, we enter into December, and on the 2nd, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. The new moon in Sagittarius is in what's called your solar second house of finances, your self-worth, and what you value. You are already into 10 days of the month after your birthday month. And this is a real strong energy to set forth and to push out and make things happen about what it is that you want to embrace for yourself in your new birthday year. And you know it's very important as we still have Saturn in Scorpio going through your sign, which is saying when it crosses over your sun, it's get really serious about your life. Cut out, right, Scorpio, cut out that which is no longer in alignment with what is purposeful for you. And having come off of the eclipse, the sudden awareness, even if it's been creeping up on you, there's a sense of pushing forward. And now, with the new moon in your solar second house of what you value, examine that again. What really is important to me? There's a very significant event happening in 2014, and especially for you, because Mars will go into Libra. Mars is your ruling planet. You have Mars, and the modern rulers considered Pluto. Mars, your ruling planet, going into Libra, will go retrograde in March of 2014. Instead of spending 2 months in one sign, it's going to spend 8 months. But it's in Libra, the sign behind you. It's called your solar 12th house. We can't see what's immediately behind us. Therefore, it can be where we can sabotage our life. And Mars there, and old astrology will call it our secret enemies. But who's our worst enemy if we're doing something that we don't know we're doing that's not in our best interest? Mars is about putting effort and energy into something. So become conscious. This is a time for you to become very, very conscious. Now, Mars in Libra is what's fair, what's balanced, and this will, and of course, Libra's ruled by Venus, which is incredibly important because on the winter solstice or summer solstice, if you're below the equator, Venus will go retrograde. Before we get there, the full moon in Gemini is going to be on the 17th of December, and it is about balancing what you value, what's important for you. And this is the house of what other people's resources. That's what it's called, other people's resources. And you want to think of other people's resources more than just what, your friend Jennifer has that she can lend you. Because it can be what's available on the planet for you. The parks that we walk into, the libraries, the nature of just what is out there. There's a lot of resources. And this awareness, the full moon is illumination, the awareness about how to balance what's important for you, what you value, and pieces of information about what's out there, what else you can include. Now, on a very practical, mundane level, you'll hear about it as remember to balance your checkbook, because it does deal with the financial side of life, but that's sort of that's not silly, but it is a mundane, day-to-day partition of this full moon. It also represents that sense of what you expect from other people and what other people expect from you. And is that in balance? What do you want to give others and what do others give you? And is there anything to communicate about that? The sun goes into Capricorn on December 21st. That is the day that Venus goes retrograde. Venus will go retrograde in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn is a value of respecting each other. Therefore, relationships, there will be this vibe of understanding relationships and respecting each other and respecting time, respecting what a person has to do. And if you are in relationship with anybody and you feel that they're not respecting what you need to do or your time or feeling valued by that, then it can get a little rocky, or feeling unappreciated by them. It can be a little rocky, but it is a two-way street. So evaluate your relationships and see what might be missing in terms of mutual respect, honoring each other, and valuing each other's time and what's important for them and what they need to do. And that goes back to the full moon in Gemini, because the full moon in Gemini on December 17th, each chart has an extra push, and Uranus is going to go direct the day that the moon is full. Now, Uranus goes direct only one day out of the year, and it's going to go direct on the full moon in Gemini. And Uranus is in Aries, saying individuality and sudden insight. So what is the sudden insight for you? The sudden insight for you can be what needs to be adjusted. After all, the Gemini sign, and both the Gemini and Aries sign are in an angle that represent adjusting. And so sudden insight, sudden knowledge can come your way that can bring you freedom. And what the insight can be is how you can alter something in your day-to-day life, the routines and habit of life, to be able to bring forward that which is important to you. Therefore, when Venus goes retrograde on the 21st, and will be retrograde in the month, as a matter of fact, she's been in her shadow the month of December and will be retrograde through most of January, that going back to what is it that I value, which is what is up for you this cycle until we shift into the Capricorn. And when we go into the Capricorn, it's communication. How do I want to communicate it? How do I think about it? What else do I want to know about it? The month ends as we go towards New Year's Eve with a exact Mars square Pluto. Now here you have your two ruling planets, Mars and Pluto, in an exact square, which is an antagonistic energy. And Mars-Pluto is very intense. And this intensity, as you see, Mars is also square Mercury here too. And that is intense communication. Before you sit down for a discussion with somebody, and it could be about Venus being retrograde, or what you intend, what's important to you. Understand the intention that you want the outcome of that conversation to be, because the intensity is so strong right here. It could go into just trying to bulldoze over somebody to see your point, right? I need you to know my point. I need you to get that I'm right about this, versus the reason, what's underneath it, how you want to create a better relationship with the other person, or whatever it is that the intention that you have. We finish the month, New Year's Eve, and what we have, I'm not sure why this is all discombobulated here, but we have, as you can see, this isn't right. You immediately know that this is not the right, something's wrong with the house system here, because you have the sun and moon above the horizon, and that just can't be if it's midnight. So I'm going to switch it for you and try to find out why. Here we go. So we go into New Year's Eve with the moon in Capricorn, And the moon in Capricorn before the sun is called a balsamic phase, and that's releasing. And this is a perfect symbol for the New Year's Eve. There's a releasing energy on New Year's Eve. And on New Year's Day, we'll have the new moon. Again, a wonderful symbol to start the new year. So the new year has this letting go, this releasing phase. We're in the dark of the moon, and we will start the new year with a brand new, fresh new moon in Capricorn, which is a perfect segue into 2014.